Thirdly, we see a compassionate healing. A compassionate healing, and that is when Jesus heals the leper. Leprosy, of course, is a serious skin disorder which really made those who were ill with leprosy untouchable. If you've ever seen the movie Ben-Hur, then you have a pretty good sense of how untouchable these people were, these lepers were. There were their own communities where they were isolated because no one would touch them. They were the untouchables. They were banned from society. And in this movie, Ben-Hur, at one point, Judah Ben-Hur is talking to Pilate after seeing where, in his own words, his mother and sister live what's left of their lives. And he reminds Pilate that they have become lepers and outcasts without hope. I don't know if you remember that portion of that movie. Lepers and outcasts without hope. And that's what this man was here. This leper came to him as an outcast without hope. Untouchable. Maybe the closest that we can come to, and I just mentioned this, as sad as it is, just by way of illustration, are those who are confined to nursing homes today. In our culture, those who are confined to nursing homes seem to take on this status of untouchable. Right? Young people are terrified to go to nursing homes because of whatever, the smell, the atmosphere, whatever. Those folks are the untouchables. It takes quite a person to minister to those people. That's what Jesus is encountering here. An untouchable, someone with whom no one else really wanted to deal. But what does Jesus do? He ignores the social demarcations of his day. And he looked at him with compassion. And what does he do? He reaches out his hand and he touches him. Now that's the very last thing you do to a leper, so you don't contract this illness. To touch somebody with this kind of condition. But Jesus had compassion on him and he touched him. What we need to realize, friends, as we conclude here, is that we are that leper. We are that leper. We don't have rotting skin. We have rotting hearts by nature. We have rotting, stinking hearts. And we're untouchable by a holy God, at least as it would seem. How could God reach down and touch someone who is so untouchable, someone who has such a rotten heart? We're separated from this holy society of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. We're in our own leper community that's made up of the human race. But in his condescending love, Christ comes to us and says, I am willing to heal you. And he reaches out to us. And he touches us. And he heals us. One commentator says this picture of the leper here is really the whole gospel in a nutshell. A man who was untouchable, a man who could not be healed, a man who could just simply cope with his problems. Jesus has compassion on him and heals him. And that's the gospel.